Okay, in this video we're going to remove this drain trough and put new sealer behind it, because at times you'll see drops of water coming down through there and it gets underneath here, and sometimes it'll freeze and create a lot of ice problem. So let's disconnect the drain hose and unscrew all these screws here. Now you have to break the seal that's on there, and that was very easy. You can see it's a little mushy and dripping and wet. So next step would be to thoroughly clean and dry this area. Put a bead of silicone on this sponge-like material which is coming off, and we'll reinstall it. Okay, I've taken a paper towel and I'm just trying to get the moisture out of that foam material here so I can glue this back, and I'll use silicone. You can see this is the glue that's on the trough. I mean, you could take that whole thing off and just put a nice bead of silicone on here, but I tend to think that this is a neater way of doing it because you need less silicone, and less to me is always the best. Now I'm also going to take some acetone or enamel reducer to clean the grease off here. Okay, here's some Xylol. It's enamel reducer. It's kind of like acetone or lacquer thinner. It'll clean and dry this surface area here so that when I re-glue it, it'll have something to stick to. Alright, so now let that dry, and we're going to clean the inside of the refrigerator now. Okay, let's get some of this enamel reducer and clean off this area back here where the silicone meets the trough, just so we can have a nice surface area that's dry. You can see there's a little discoloration, or that's the glue that was on that piece of foam in the back. So let's clean this up a little bit here. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so now we'll put the silicone on the trough, and then we'll put the trough on here, and we'll use our screw gun to do that. Okay, there's a white silicone here. I'm going to put a light coating of it, then we're going to put the foam back on, and then we're going to put a bead of silicone on the whole thing. Put it back in. Okay, now That should be all right. Okay, that's ready to go on. Let's just get a Phillips head screwdriver here. Get these things started. All right, so get it fitted in there. You can see where the screw holes line up. I mean, you really can't mess it up in a way because the screw holes will put it in the right position. Okay, so once you get a couple of screws in there, the alignment should not be a problem for you. Okay, one more thing we have to do before we're finished, aside from putting the drain hose back on. That's it, how it goes on. We're going to get some water and we're going to run a wet finger across this whole trough to force the silicone down into that little valley and make a nice seal. Okay, so here we have a little cup of water. I'm going to wet my finger and just force that silicone down behind. That's it. Now you want to be extra safe. You could put a small bead of silicone in here just to be safe. Let me do that. All right, so let's get down there and I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. So then we'll wet our finger again and smooth it out. Okay, a little water. Take the excess. And then put a little bit too much on there. That's because the tip of my dispenser there has got a big opening. I mean, if you pinch a little pinhole in there, you can really get a fine bead. So wet your finger if you're going to mess with this stuff. Keep it from getting too sticky. Okay, that's pretty much it. It's a common problem. If you ever have that problem or you ever have a clogged drain, this hose just comes right off, and you sometimes, if you can reach in there and you take it all apart, you can blow through there to clean out your drain. You know, wipe it down with some soap and just blow through it. I use a plastic tube that fits right in here that I carry around in my tool bag, so I don't have to reach all the way in there. But that's all. There's no clamp or anything on here because the water just goes through that hole and it goes down the back wall and into the pan down on the bottom. And that's it. That's how you reseal a drain trough.